Hola, bonjour, hello. That's all I've got. I'm not Grizz. I'm not doing homework on all these languages, man. You know what I mean? So
I'm
yeah.
loving it, Bilal. But anybody
But
will. Yeah, man. Great to be here with you, man. He's
yeah,
trying to do them and then Bonacera.
Buonasera, all of that. I forgot. I was gonna say ciao. I was gonna say arrivederci, but that's another different word. I think that's goodbye. So yeah,
Yeah.
listen. I'll start saying random words. You guys in the comments, man. You guys make me laugh, man. I
Yeah.
say, Grizz, you look hella different.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Listen, you got a bit more of a tan. He's glowing, man. Grizz looking different right now. But yeah,
Younger,
it's
much younger, Grizz. Oh my God.
could you imagine if Grizz is here, not on Big Six, right? Listen, conspiracies, yeah, this is what you guys are trying to do. There's no problems whatsoever. But yeah, listen, guys, man, today's Eurostars, man. Listen, we're giving you the content every week, no matter what. I've got next to me on my what's my left right now, my right, I don't even know. It's Michael. Big up, Michael. How you doing, bro?
Doing good. A little sick right now. Got a stomach bug, but you never know. Good, no. I'm so excited to talk some football. Serie A, Bundesliga's back. My favorite league, yay. Already saw high lines moving mad over there. It's amazing. And Copa del Rey.
You're a little bit far, I think. Is it me or just a little bit far? Like
Better?
Yeah, much better. Yeah.
Yeah. Some Copa del Rey, Real Madrid, Atleti, Madrid derby. Little big lead up to it, but yeah.
100%, man. Listen, you see, people are fighting through stomach bugs, everything to bring you guys content. And another man that loves football more than anyone I know, it's Mo. How you doing, bro?
How is everybody doing? I'm happy to be here with you guys. The Madrid Derby 3-1, Vinicius Jr. responding to the banners, the racist ones. Man, these people ruin football, man. And he just, the best response is on the pitch to dribble the whole team and just score a solo goal. It is what it is. If you know, you know.
Yeah, no, 100%. I didn't check too much before the game because I know this has been ongoing even last season, even after the World Cup. I've been seeing the stuff Vinicius Jr. has had to deal with as well. So, yeah, big him up because it's not easy, man. I don't know if Atleti as a club are doing anything against their fans. They must be doing something against the fans who are doing, the racism, all that kind of stuff
I
there.
don't think they can, man. I don't think they can. I'm not sure if they can. I'm not sure. You know, like you know what I mean? These are like just they put banner on a bridge for the bus when the bus was going. It's like it is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's mad, and that's a sad thing, man. It's deep rooted a lot of the time, but listen, they can hate all they want. Some things are just never going to change. You've got to deal with it. But enough of that, man. We just go into the football itself, and to be fair, it ended up being on. Well, the scoreline would suggest that 3-1. I know it's extra time, but Real Madrid had it, so to speak, maybe an easier game than we would have thought. But going into that game, I don't know how you guys were feeling with Real Madrid as a whole, right? Right now, Ancelotti, the football that they've been playing recently, a couple of weeks ago, losing to Barcelona as well. Things are not looking so great. Even when you look at their squad, you look at their bench. I don't know if it's just me, but I'm like, it's not really, doesn't feel like Real Madrid right now. But they have this mentality that they can just turn it on when they need to. And against Atleti today, that first goal that they scored, it was a beautiful goal, beautifully worked goal. If that was Luis Enrique, we would be talking so much. Yeah, we'd be saying, Enrique ball. But listen, they tried. Second half, I think Real Madrid really got into the game. And we'll talk on my guy, Camavinga, because he's behind me right now. I'm going to talk on him a little bit as well, because I thought today, although he did obviously had to go into left back, what a player he is. I don't know, Michael, your thoughts on the game and in terms of any players that you thought stood out as well today.
Yeah, the game was, first half, I think Atleti dominated. It probably could have been up like 2-3-0, to be honest. That goal from Morata. Morata, he's very, what's it called?
Shameless, man. He scored against Real Madrid, man. And then he goes and celebrates, my friend. Like the guy spent half his career at Real Madrid. And it looks like he scored against the enemy. It's the enemy for the Atletico Madrid fan. It's not the enemy for you. And you remember, Real Madrid kept taking him back. Every club that wanted to let him go, they would take him back as well. And he will play. This guy is shameless, man. I've never seen someone like this, man.
Hey man, Lukaku did the same thing when he scored against Everton for United. I'm not gonna lie, he was celebrating too. But now,
But he wasn't. Listen, he wasn't Everton through and through. Like
True.
this
True.
guy Morata, man, came through the ranks. I think he joined them when he was like 18 years old.
Yeah.
Got to the picture by them. Spent 4 years. Won the Champions League with them. Then they loan him out. He comes back. So I'm sorry. That's a totally different story. This guy is shameless, man.
Yeah.
He was like going to celebrate in front of their friends as well. I'm like, what are you doing, my friend? What are you doing?
Who knows? Maybe left on back in bad blood. But now for Real Madrid, Mendy, that was my big takeaway in that first half. That guy's an abysmal left back. The only reason that this guy's rated might be because of FIFA Ultimate Team. I'm not even joking, because he's OP on that game. But in real life, the way he was sleeping for that first goal was absolutely abysmal. And Camavinga, I tweeted this out. I said, Mendy, come get your left back spot back. Because Camavinga put in, I think he got voted man of the match. So he was fantastic. And Rodrigo, this guy, I don't know if you guys watch basketball, but the 6th Man of the Year award bench player, Rodrigo off the bench might be one of the best players in the world. We saw it last year in Champions League, that City game, the Chelsea game where he came off the bench, instant impact. Today, once again, instant impact off the bench, and what a beautiful goal. That was Brazil, Joga Bonito at his finest. So, yeah.
They're calling him R9 man right now. Like, I don't know.
He touched the knees. He touched the knees.
Man, the internet's too funny. Listen, he's a marvelous player, and he's so good off that left side that it's just like him and Vinny. Can they really coexist? Maybe if they played it more like a 4-2-3-1, and then that's not how they play, right? And then he can play more central, maybe more from the left, because he's so good. He's 2-footed, yes, but really and truly that left side, I think that's his spot, man. And today, but with him and Vinny, it's always going to be like that: one in, one out. Them playing together, it's going to be difficult all the time. And there's other players in the team, like, I don't know, Mo, your opinion on guys like Valverde. Like,
I think he's overrated. I think he's a very good player running and stuff like this. But I think, listen, when I say overrated, that means he's a 7. He's a 7 out of 10. Just the media makes him look like he's a superstar, like he's a next Modric. He's a next Cruz. You know what? When I say overrated, doesn't mean I don't rate the player. That means I rate him. Very good player. Will start for Real Madrid in the future. But is he the guy that you can count on to lead a midfield? No, they still need Tchouaméni. Like, I would rate Tchouaméni higher than him. Yes, scores goals here and there. Like, he runs and runs and runs. Valverde can play right wing, can play central midfielder as well. But the way people talk about some of these players, especially for the English-speaking people that don't watch La Liga week in, week out, they think that when they're going to go watch Valverde, they're going to see another Zidane or something. You know what I mean? Like, he's good and everything. You know what I mean? But he's not Jamal Musiala. He's not Bellingham. I'm sorry. You're watching Jamal Musiala, full of highlights, full of technical abilities, can actually make something happen out of nothing. Valverde, top player. You know, like, he's the likes of Jordan Henderson, if you know what I mean, at his top. Like, Jordan Henderson, 3 Champions League finals, won the league with Liverpool, won the Champions League. Yes, but is he the Modric of Liverpool? Of course he's not. No. Of course, that's what I'm talking about. Still, Valverde, great player, great energy. But again, they need to replace Modric and Toni Kroos. Today, I saw them, Modric and Toni Kroos, even though Modric had an assist, he is getting older. The 38 years old is obvious on him. The Rodrigo de Pauls, you know what I mean? The Lemar on him, the Carrasco when he came on, it looked like he's older than these guys by 10 years, and it's showing. That flair is there, but I don't know what you guys think about that. But they need 2 new midfielders, to be honest.
Wow, Michael, do you agree with that? Especially that last point on needing 2 new midfielders at Real Madrid.
Yeah, I mean, they had the Modric replacement in-house, but they sold them to Arsenal. Martin Odegaard, that's what they need right now. Martin Odegaard would be perfect in that team, but they let him go because they never played him, man. We all see how he's playing at Arsenal right now. They could do with someone that could pick that lock, because Luka Modric and Toni Kroos, to an extent, mostly from deeper, are the only players in that midfield that can pick a lock. Fede Valverde, as good as he is off the ball, running, tracking back, and he has an amazing long-range screamer in him, but on the ball, I think he is a tad overrated, because I've seen clips of like other podcasts and everything Kall like saying he'll be better than Steven Gerrard in like 5 years, which is an absolute ludicrous.
You know what, Michael, let me ask you something. Any player, if you see highlights, like if you go to like YouTube Reels and stuff, you'll think that this is prime R9.
Yeah, yo,
It's
this guy,
Ronaldinho, you know
his
what I
goal
mean?
catalog, this guy, like,
Yeah.
his screamers are amazing. I've never seen someone shoot the ball that hard, but on the ball, he is a little overrated. Like, he doesn't have. I mean, I'm a more of a technical ability kind of guy. That's kind of like Mo mentioned Musiala, bro. Like, I could watch this guy play all day because he'll do all the fancy tricks, the dribbles, but he'll also provide that final action. Valverde, is he a right wing fielder? Is he a midfielder? Can he really play in that midfield in a big game where he needs to control the game? I don't think he could do that. So it's iffy for me with him.
Yeah, that's a tough one, I think, because
I
even
think they
Uruguay.
get Bellingham. You know that. You know, I was thinking about that. I know I think they're gonna get Bellingham. If Bellingham doesn't go to Man City and Man City are not willing to pay the money, he's gonna choose Real Madrid over Liverpool because it doesn't look like Liverpool are coming out of that coma soon enough for them to recover. I'm not sure what you think, Bilal, about like Bellingham. Of course, playing under Pep is your ultimate option, but if Liverpool they don't like fix things, would you go to Real Madrid and you see Camavinga, Tchouameni, Bellingham?
As much as I personally, I would like him to go to Real Madrid. Speaking to obviously Grizz, if he was here, he'll tell you, nope, he's signing for Liverpool, by the way. So I got to get that one in there. Grizz is telling me Bellingham is going to sign for Liverpool. We've had actually journalists in Germany, quite reliable, saying Liverpool, the strongest team in for Bellingham right now. So we'll see how that goes, because Klopp, apparently, even according to the likes of Fabrizio, he's calling Klopp, Dortmund every single day, asking about Bellingham and the situation around him. So Liverpool they really want him. I think the family as well, they probably would like the idea of Liverpool. And I don't think Champions League or lack of it is a big deal for just one season, even two. He's a young player. Coming back to England, I can see why he'd want to go there. Personally, though, for me...
You see why he would want to go there?
Yeah, 100%.
Really?
Well,
bro, they're selling him to Gerrard Jr. They're saying you could become our next Steven Gerrard.
It doesn't matter what they say, Michael. That's not the point. You can say whatever you want.
They're gaslighting him.
Anyway, we're not here to talk about Liverpool.
If Man City come in, that's a conversation as well. I'd say I think Man City, Liverpool, the two teams will be interested, and definitely City, Haaland, Bellingham, Foden, even Grealish, all of that sort of connection. Definitely Man City, if they put their necks on the line, they want to get him as well. That's definitely going to be a conversation. But for me, listen, take him to Real Madrid. Make Camavinga play left back. Make Camavinga angry, and then bring him to my side. But that's a different story. That's my agenda.
This guy's an ulterior motive every single time.
As a thing in his head, like he's drawing a story.
I've got a little plan.
Yes.
Right. No, but honestly, Camavinga, what a player, man. From left back today, the way he played, he drew Savage into getting that red card. Also, a little stat that I saw, just a side note before we move on as well. La Liga and Ligue 1, in terms of red cards, it's ridiculous. Since the break, apparently, I think in La Liga alone, there's been maybe 40 red cards or something like that. In Ligue 1, there's 44, and the Premier League is 8 red cards. Someone in the comments, if you can, like, make sure if this stat is real, because if it is, and it kind of makes sense, whenever I watch, especially Ligue 1, whenever I watch Ligue 1, I'm seeing red cards. That's a fact. And but La Liga as well, like, they're quick to give these cards, man. Obviously, because they don't let as many things go. But yeah, that's just an interesting side point, in my opinion.
They got the ref. They got that ref, Manu Lahoz. That guy has the ultimate main character syndrome in him. He be giving out yellow cards, red cards every single minute.
I think he retired, you know. I saw
he didn't, bro.
He's gonna retire.
He's gonna retire.
He's gonna retire. Yeah, he's gonna retire 100%. Let me just get this comment up here as well, just so you don't think we're missing out on breaking news. But quick side note: any thoughts on Ajax manager Alfred Schroeder getting sacked? Bad performances.
I only watched the guy on Champions League, and his record is abysmal in Champions League and in Eredivisie. That's what I'm saying. He won 7 games out of 12, and this is Ajax. You know, you're expecting him to win 10 or something. I don't know. It's just another bold guy that gets hired, assuming that he's gonna do the same job. That's exactly what they did out there. That's what I think. It's what I think. You know, like, get this guy. He looks exactly like Ten Hag. He's gonna do the same job, but it doesn't look like he did.
Yeah, this guy's a disgrace in my bald coach theory experiment, man. This guy almost let me down in the stocks, but nah, this guy's they thought life was gonna be they thought life was gonna be sweet without Ten Hag. Nah.
You know his wins are not even 50%. Ajax.
Yeah, they haven't won 7 games
in the Eredivisie. No. Sorry, they won 12 out of 26. Ajax. You know what I mean? Like, imagine that you join Man City and your win percentage is less than 50%. And it's even Man City is a tougher job than Ajax at the Eredivisie. Just
he moving like Rara Fragnick, man. Nah, but I know European lad, that guy on Twitter with like all the images. He'll be a very happy guy. This guy's been calling for a shooter to get sacked since like October. So fair play to Ajax.
Yeah.
I wonder who they get now. But yeah, kudos. Come my way, man. I know we're broke, but we'll figure out a way.
Why all the Premier League people, they have their own agendas about players and managers? It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
I got a connection with Ajax, yo. See, they send me players. I'll
It's
take
not a connection. That's not a connection. That's just bullying.
Mike has a connection with everybody, man. Mike likes players everywhere. Mike wants Kudus.
I have stocks.
Skriniar. It's like stocks everywhere, my friend.
Nah, Skriniar, yo, I'll let PSG handle Skriniar, but nah. My stocks are in Portuguese league. That's where all my stocks are.
Yeah, 100%. Anyway, last? Yeah, I was just gonna say, any last thoughts on just the Real Madrid game? Anything in particular, maybe even from Atleti, that impressed you today?
Yes, they were actually better than what I expected. Atletico Madrid today, especially in that first half, they were knocking the ball around. They had a plan. It looked like they're playing between the lines. It looks like they're not just knocking it long and assuming that something is going to happen. And it looked like Joao Felix was holding them back. It's not the other way around. No, just kidding. But I think today they're playing away. And I thought that they were okay. They weren't bad at all. They were good. I don't know if you guys agree that today at least it looked like a footballing team, not a team that came to fight. And that's at least that's a positive sign for them. Maybe Simeone is hearing about Eurostars and we're calling for a sacking. And he's like, no. I got to change the way I play football. And maybe that's what happened.
Yeah, listen, I think, honestly, I knew him and Joao Felix, that drama always sometimes not even sometimes, a lot of the time on the bench, not really using him. That's gone now. Simeone's, again, reasserted his little dominance. And I think if he has a good few months, he's probably going to end up staying at Atleti, and we'll see how they go. Molina at right back as well, another impressive player, man. So Udinese, I'm sure, Mo, you've probably seen him a few times before he even moved to Atleti. And yeah, he looked good as well today. So there's a lot of positives to take.
Very good player.
Where are they in the table?
Fourth.
They're fourth?
But let me tell you one stat that I heard here on ESPN. I'm not sure who you guys watching, and I'm sure, Michael, you watched the same. They said Atleti finished in the top 3 in the last decade, every season.
Yeah, they must have,
I don't think that's going to happen this year because Sociedad are moving a little different
I still think that Atleti will push to finish third.
It's possible. They have no Europe, right? Yeah, they're out of Europe completely, right? So
yes.
So that's going to help them.
Yes.
It's going to help them.
And Sociedad still obviously in the Europa. They finished top of your group, Michael.
Yeah.
Giving you this.
So the last thing I want to ask you guys is, and I heard this on the radio, can Sociedad be the outsider to put a little bit of pressure on Real Madrid and Barcelona in La Liga, being 6 points behind only?
They could do. We can even go into yesterday's game then, because I managed to just catch a little bit of it. I was more focused, unfortunately, on Michael's team. But from what I saw, Sociedad, even with 10 men, they had chances to equalize. They had chances to really get back into the game. And obviously, the main star in that middle of the park, let me see if I can get this up again, Zubimendi, again, with another good performance. I'm seeing Barcelona fans saying, bring him to the Camp Nou, bring him now. They look like a really good team, and they've got attackers. I know they lost the likes of Isaac recently, but Yatabal coming back looking good. Soloth is another strong striker. You've got Kubo in there. They look like a very decent and well-oiled machine, and they play good football. So it's one of those ones. It's not a surprise that they're third in the league right now, and they're only losing 1-0 to Barcelona with 10 men. I think potentially they can make some noise, but in the end, it will probably be a bit too much, especially if they go far in the Europa League. I think it'll be a bit too much just to catch up with the likes of Barcelona and Real Madrid. And I have a sneaky feeling that, listen, I predicted before the season Barcelona's going to win La Liga, right?
Yeah,
it feels like it's going to happen. And
me and you and Grizz said Real Madrid, and it looks like these players that Real Madrid have, they're not good enough to play 2 competitions. Sorry, they're not. It's not good enough. Fitness-wise and age-wise, they're not ready to play 3 competitions at the same time. Remember, I think the semi-final in the Copa is 2-legged games. They are in the
Yeah,
semi-final now,
exactly.
so extra 3 games if they reach the final, and then the Champions League, and then La Liga. I think that's too much for them. I think also we remember they have the
Club World
Club
Cup.
World Cup coming on, 2 games. So that's too much, to be honest. It's gonna. I think this is gonna be a tough season for them because they didn't strengthen enough in the summer. They
Yeah.
didn't. It's not enough.
100%. I don't know what you guys' thoughts are. We can talk about the attacking players now, especially Barcelona, like Dembele, Lewandowski, Gavi. The likes of now big investments. This is what is now crazy about the Barcelona situation. They're big investments in recent times. Rafinha and Ferran Torres. These guys are not really getting a look in, and especially Ferran Torres. In my opinion, they spent what 50 million? Was it 60 million? And I'm even seeing loads of Spanish reports and Catalan media saying he's like the last option for Xavi right now in the attack. He doesn't want to use him. I understand why. He was a bit of a bozo. That's his main reason. You don't have a bozo up front. You know, he's not really a winger. He's not really a striker. He's just one of those ones where he's just there. So I don't know. On the Barcelona front, financially, we talk about their situation time and time again. I hope they can pull through because I don't want to see a club like Barcelona go down because of money. You know, now listen, we got Michael. I don't know about you.
I don't care. I don't care if they go down because of money. Like the whole league in Serie A are going down because of money.
Yo, let
Listen,
Barcelona crumble, man. What is
I
this?
don't
Different.
care if someone goes down because of the money. People didn't want Super League. So that's what you're going to get. You're going to get Bournemouth outbidding AC Milan, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to get Bournemouth outbidding AC Milan. You're going to get, you're going to get who else? Nottingham Forest outbidding Atalanta. That just were in the
Nottingham
quarterfinals
Forest,
2
man.
seasons
2
in a
Champions
row.
Leagues. Come on, man. Respect. Nottingham Forest, 2 Champions Leagues.
No, but
Big
that's
club.
what I mean. That's what I mean. A club that just came from the championship outbidding an Atalanta and a Lazio. This is what you're gonna get. You're gonna get clubs like Bournemouth, and that's gonna be the problem that is gonna happen. And then they did a 1 Super League, so I don't care if Barcelona go down. To be honest, I don't care for the money. I don't care.
I've been thinking about this, right? And this is during the Super League. I said it makes no sense. I remember Arsene Wenger said it makes no sense to have a Super League when the Premier League teams are involved. That the main reason to have a Super League is because you want to catch up to the Premier League teams. So I was thinking in my head, would it not be possible to have like a Mediterranean league one day? The Spanish league, Italy, and then you could have a big six of Barca, Real Madrid, Atleti, Inter, Milan, Juve, six big massive clubs there together. I don't know if that's possible.
Someone mentioned that on Twitter. You know, they did like location pretty much like kind of like the Iberian Peninsula, like Spain, like those they form a league, and then another part forms another league, and like Belgium and all them, and then they compete with the Premier League that way. Like form a whole like 4 teams from the best leagues and like put them all together to form that kind of Super League. Because there's no point in putting the Prem teams, man.
Yeah,
they got too much money.
I'm not a one to like talk about the Premier League teams, but they listen, they provide a better product, and that's why they have the money and they tap to the right markets. And it's just shame on the Italian and the La Liga because nobody watches La Liga anymore. Not in America, even in America in the last 4 or 5 years, even after Ronaldo left. It was marketed well. I promise you, nobody watches La Liga anymore, and it's shame. Serie A, of course, is dead here. Look at, I'm not going to talk about the coverage because I'm not going to bash some of the people that do the work here. I kind of know some of them, but it is kind of weird that the coverage of the Premier League is much superior. It is what it is.
Yeah, it's not on TV here. That's why. Like, it's all on the streaming apps, like Paramount and Peacock. So, like that. Well, not Peacock. ESPN Plus. That's where La Liga coverage is. That's where Serie A coverage is. And the games aren't on live TV, which means you got to pay to watch the games. And ain't no one paying to watch games. That ain't happening.
That's a great point, man. Even in England, right? Growing up in England, I've got the Premier League, but the other league that was watched all the time, I remember everyone was like in the last decade or so, was the La Liga. La Liga was on TV everywhere in England, like Sky Sports all the time. La Liga, La Liga, La Liga. All of a sudden, last few years, well, not even a few years, me 6, 7 years now, La Liga in England has been, you can't even find it on TV properly. This is the thing. We can watch.
Even about the Ronaldo Messi time.
Yeah, no. I'm saying when Ronaldo, Messi, that was a peak era. La Liga was
Was it on
unstoppable that time.
TV and even in England? People used to watch that.
Yeah. La Liga was unbelievable. We used to have shows like Revista de la
Yeah.
Liga on the Sky. We were always getting the in-depth scoop on what's happening in Spain. Like La Liga was massive, and there was always the argument. You're like, yeah, no. La Liga is bigger than the Premier League that time. This is me growing up, and you're obviously watching the Barcelona beating the likes of Arsenal in Champions League, Man United in the Champions League, Chelsea in the Champions League, and then Real Madrid doing their thing as well. Like, I think I don't know how La Liga have managed to, outside of Spain, really dilute what the product they have, because they had a really beautiful sort of league. But
the product got better. I keep telling this story. All my life I was a fan of the Premier League. Of course, I'm an Inter supporter, but all my life I've been a fan of the Premier League since it came on TV in the Middle East in 2002, and when Chelsea came to the picture. And I was always watching the Premier League, assuming that, how does the Premier League look so good in comparison with the Serie A, in comparison with La Liga? And then my first ever game was Everton Arsenal at Goodison Park. Ever in 2019. I went to England. It was my first time, and I went to that game. And the game was absolute shit. The level of football on the pitch was shit. The stadium itself is very old. However, number one was the pitch itself was great. Great. And then I went home and I watched the highlights of that game. And the highlights, which is NBC highlights, Michael knows this, NBC highlights or even Sky Sports highlights, they looked absolutely magnificent because they are from the game footage. And that's what the Premier League is selling. People in England think that the Premier League is selling the product to the people in England. No, the money is not coming from England. The money is coming from America. The money is coming from Asia. The money is coming from the Middle East and Africa. And the product that you're selling is not the actual football. It's what's on TV. That's what people see. And that product is much superior to any other football. Even it's more superior to the Champions League.
Yeah.
Way more superior. It just looks better. The production is better. They spend way more money on the production than anything else. That it makes it the most watched league in the world. Even when La Liga was going on, people would rather watch at that time probably either like Spurs playing, for example, Brighton, than watching Barcelona play a team like Huesca or something, because it doesn't look as good on TV.
Yeah.
And that's a fact. And at the end, after Ronaldo and Messi, it caught up, because people used to only watch Real Madrid and Barcelona because of Ronaldo and Messi. But now, because they left, now the viewing numbers, the massive difference between both leagues.
Yeah, no, I feel that 100%. Like the product of the Premier League, and I do think the language as well. You have to remember England, the English language. Even if you're from the Middle East, you might have a bit more knowledge of the English language compared to Spanish or Italian. If you're an American, the easiest league to go and access and get information is going to be the Premier League. So in that sense as well, that's all inherently given the Premier League an advantage over the other leagues in Europe. But then I look at Serie A, we'll get onto Serie A in a second, and every game I watch, and I think every game is shown on TV, right, in Italy. I don't know how it works, because
Here.
like the stadiums are never really full. I think that's another thing that affects.
No, they are full. The problem is the stadiums are not football stadiums. They are Olympic stadiums. They are city stadiums. There is a track around. Like, look at the fans of Napoli, like 30 yards behind the goal. Look at the fans in the Olympic Stadium in Roma. That's why in Juventus Stadium, even if it's empty, it looks good on TV. The only team that it looks good on TV is Juventus Stadium, because it's built like a proper football stadium. And anyway, if we go back to the football, let's talk for another day, because I had this talk with a lot of people about why the Premier League, that's 5-6 years ago, will go to be the biggest thing on TV, and for a while, and nobody's going to catch up to it. No one.
100%, man. Let me just go through some of the comments here. Scout saying, Jamie Bino Gittins. Yeah, we'll talk about this when maybe get a bit of Bundesliga chat. Is the next big English winger. So much technical ability and always changes the game for Dortmund. I remember I shouted him out earlier on in this Eurostars, and I was getting cooked But my guy Scout's telling me there, Sammy here saying below, you have to stop Barca. And listen, Man United, man.
Hey,
man.
we got them
I'm not
first.
playing.
I got something
Yeah, I'm not
cooking.
playing.
I got something cooking for Javi. Don't worry, man.
Why are you feeling sorry for? Why is he feeling sorry, bro? You forgot RVP red card. Listen, man, it's the forgotten history at this point. You have to respect. I think Barcelona, the football they play over the years outshadows all of the scandals, in my opinion. Now, for me,
you don't want to hear this from me.
What is this, bro?
I will watch Messi chip my team how many times, bro?
Listen,
I can speak about
the whole thing is built over a scandal in 2008.
Exactly. Yo, Simo gets it, man. Nah, see, yo, you got too much love for Barcelona, bro. Where's your hate, man?
Yeah, I'm not sure how old were you, Bilal, then, but the whole thing is built on a scandal in 2008. That's
we
what
don't
happened.
care. We don't care.
I care. I would be on 4 UCLs, 5 UCLs right now. Oh man, I hate that club.
Why?
Because they beat us in 2009. We would have beat Chelsea in that final again.
Exactly. See, you would have if they did, but
if they didn't cheat.
You.
Nah, we got some. Actually, no, Ronaldo's head was already in Madrid. They actually might have beaten us. You're not wrong.
Let's go to Serie A a little bit.
Let's go Serie A, man. And we go straight into. I have to start here because Mo, you got to explain to me Empoli. I know Napoli fans, I think, always say they used to lose to Empoli and they had that hoodoo.
Empoli are our bogey team.
Seems to be everyone's little bogey team.
No, but it's not that. It's a Skriniar got a red card in the minute 40, and the players and the whole club is in shambles right now. You have no idea. They released something 2 hours before the game from the agent of Skriniar saying that they screwed up. The management screwed up. So our captain, imagine your captain and your best player is leaving the club because the management put him on the market against his will, and then they wanted to renew him with a very low offer in comparison with what he's getting offered from abroad. And then they want to pin it on him saying that he doesn't want to renew, but in front of the fans, everything got exposed. So the guy plays the game, gets a red card, and then everybody else inside the game is thinking about that red card until the last minute. And Empoli, just to be honest, credit to them, they played good football. Until minute 20, they had 65% possession, if you believe that, at home. And I was doing the watch along for this game, and I went crazy at the end of the game. I went absolutely crazy. But again, at the same time, all I want to say is that the club, Inter, it doesn't matter if they get top 4 or not. The future looks very dark. Very dark. It's not looking great. It's not looking good. And it's not looking like something. It's not like there's any plan because the owners, and I'm not sure if that's their fault or not their fault. Basically, the owners, they have a ban on him. And you know that. I think we talked about this from China, that they can't spend money. But they don't want to sell the club unless anything more than €1 billion come to them. And it's unacceptable. It's just unacceptable.
Yeah, any thoughts on Inter, Michael, Skriniar, the talk of PSG? I'm even seeing Tottenham links again popping up.
Yeah, let's not be having that. We don't need that. We don't need Skriniar to come to Spurs. Let him go PSG. They really need him. We'll talk. I don't know if we're going to touch on PSG, but they need a center back ASAP because they made Ronaldo look like world star in that charity game, and this guy stinks again. So Sergio Ramos, it's time to hang up the boots, bro. But nah, Inter, it's just all a Serie A bar Napoli right now. There is not the Napoli, the only good team in Serie A right now in terms of consistency. Everyone else so inconsistent. Like Bo said, the Skriniar red card at Empoli. I don't know that many players on Empoli. I just know their goalkeeper Vicario because a couple of my Serie A people on Twitter big him up, say that he should probably go Roma or something because they have a goalkeeping issue potentially in Rui Patricio. But nah, Inter, they just need to somehow beat Porto in the round of 16 at UCL. I know they need money right now, as every probably Serie A club needs money. And I know the owners, what's his last name? Zhu, I think. I know, like, it looked good like 3 years ago when they brought in Antonio Conte and everything. The project looked appealing, but I think once COVID hit, I think COVID really financially hit them. And from then on, they need
COVID. It's the Chinese government. These guys are billionaires. The Chinese government basically said that you cannot invest outside China. So the owners are not allowed to put any money in the club, So they had to take a big loan just to make the club work. And then now they have to pay the loan back. So they don't have any money. And And nobody's gonna buy the club for €1 billion.
Nah,
Nobody's gonna come with that because Italy doesn't have any. Because there is nothing in the future for the Italian league. Like if you're buying Burnley, or if you're buying Derby, or if you're going to buy Brighton, you know that the money is coming. You know the broadcast money is coming. You know that the money is coming from somewhere. But in Italy, all I have to tell you is that they sold the rights in the Middle East for 3 years for 25 million. You know, this is absolutely shambolic offer.
3 years. Wait. The Serie A in general sold the rights for 3 years for 25 million.
In the Middle East.
That's a joke, bro. 25
Exactly.
million. What's he going to even do
there
with
was
that?
a corruption there. So what happened is they sold it to Abu Dhabi Sport. They had a contract with being offered 75 million a season. Somehow they rejected that offer. Anyway, the dinosaurs that are running the club, it's just
these Mediterranean old
it's
guys, man.
absolutely garbage, to be honest. But I support the club. I like the club more than anything else in terms of football. But however, it's not looking great for Serie A. I want my club to win, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? But nobody's coming to buy any club. And also with the scandals, if you are an investor, do you want to invest in a league that has Juventus paying 800 million to the clubs in the last 10 years under the table, and you want to be like with Milan, who's getting investigated at the moment? I'm proud of my club. We have none of that, but it's the whole league. You know what I mean? Milan are getting investigated for the sale of the club, and it's astonishing.
Even Napoli getting investigated for that Osimhen deal.
Yeah, it's
that's
ridiculous.
just one deal. Is it Napoli the only team with a can't be the only team with a Italian owner? Like, I don't know how much De Laurentiis owns himself. Is it 100% of Napoli?
I don't know, but I think he is. Yeah,
he's a spearhead of that team, and he obviously, whenever people wanted Koulibaly in the past, it took him years to just let him go. He's someone who
he got the best out of Koulibaly, and that's it.
Yeah,
he sold him at the right moment.
Yeah, exactly. He put Napoli first. It looks like from the outside, he puts Napoli first over the money, over this and that. While some other clubs, as we'll get onto right now, Juve here, again, 3-3 somehow. I don't know, they get results somehow. They always find a way. This is a weird thing about Juve. They find a way to get results no matter what. But again, the situation at that club isn't great. They are, as the title says, in the mud, 15-point deduction. I think they were going to appeal it, but it sounds like that's not it just sounds like it's the beginning of what's going to come for Juve, the 15 points. Sounds like there's a lot more from what I'm reading that's going to be in the next few months coming at them. Mo, any thoughts on Juve? I know you hate them, but any thoughts? And actually, the question
I don't hate.
Yeah.
I don't hate anybody, but to be honest with you, I think it's shame that the owners are doing this. It's shame that the owners are doing this. I don't know what to say other than they are criminals, the owners, and the problem is who pays for that. I said that before. The people that pay for that are the fans, the players that work hard for these points. And I said that before, and people didn't like that. I said that player that worked hard, right? I know they get paid, but they worked hard for these points. Because of the owners, they get points deducted, and that's unfair. These people just should go to jail, and because that doesn't affect the football. If you bribe a referee, yes, you got a result, but if stuff are happening under the table for deals, what does the player have to do with this? It's not their fault.
100%. They sweat for those 3 points. They get their 3 points, and then it's just taken away from them because of people running the club. But it's a reality. I don't know, Juve, you'd think out of all the clubs who would have learned from this sort of stuff in the past to do like similar things time and time again, to the point where it's come to this again. It's not good. And I don't know, Mo, what's your opinion? Juve, if they do get punished and things get cleared up, and even if, let's say, Milan, they get charged with something, they get cleared up, is this good long term for Serie A? Or do you think this is one of those like final like dagger blows into Serie A? Like the league can't recover if this really takes shape again.
No, the league recovered when Juve went down. Milan won the Champions League in 2007, and Inter won the Champions League in 2010. And both clubs were rich at that time. Actually, had a lot of money at that time. Yeah. And when Juve came back, it was just kind of like Juventus reached 2 Champions League finals, and I think the league is gonna recover. The problem is Juventus has too many players, too many good players to be down. Too many good players. That anyway, I
So let's read this comment here. Jay says, in terms of Serie A, the ultras seriously need to get around the table and sort some sort of joint protest out. So many bad owners in the league, too much wink, wink, nudge, nudge, etc. So yeah, that's on the owners. But let's just get back to the football as well. Not sure how many of us watch this game. I was watching this game, and I just want a word on Atalanta, man. In terms of entertainment value, when it's Napoli, Atalanta, then I put Lazio maybe the third in terms of just pure entertainment football wise. Yeah, these guys are delivering. And look, man, look, man, look, man, come on, seriously, the kid is on fire. And 25 years old, he was a wonder kid, man. When he first broke onto the scene, we thought he was gonna be this great winger who's gonna absolutely light up the Premier League for years to come. But listen, it looks like he's found his spot now at Atalanta, and they're just a team that just know football. I don't know what your thoughts are on Atalanta, Michael, and the football they play, and yeah, because even this kid here, what's his name? This new kid, yeah, Hodgland. There's another kid. He's not even Norwegian. He's Danish. But he's
so this guy though, this guy, I watched the game. This forward, man. It's like, what? How did he find this guy? It's like, how did he find Lookman and then made him into this absolutely brilliant player? He's the only English player ever in the history to have double digits goals in the Serie A in the first season. I think Tammy Abraham did it last year or something.
Yeah.
But it's this guy, like the forward, this guy, Hoyland or whatever. He's the definition of a number 9. Literally the definition of the number 9. And I don't know, a lot of teams will be looking at him. Forget the rating here. He was on the pitch. He was so good. I know you watched the game, Bilal.
Yeah,
on the pitch, he was so good. Like, it's unbelievable. He's a handful. I liked him. I liked him, to be honest.
Only 19 years old. Like, it's mad. Boga, Lookman, like these are little signings, you know, I'd expect like a Leicester to make in England, but Atalanta are getting these gems. And even like the likes of Coop Miners in the middle when he plays, De Bruyne has always been a reliable guy for them, always with a funny tweet as well when you see him. The wing backs that they've got, everything looks good for them. I don't know if they can make top 4 this season. You'd expect now, obviously with Juve, what's happened, they got a bigger chance of making into that.
I ain't counting Juve out, bro. This league, bro, they could go on a run, bro. Allegri has a deal with the devil. No matter what, this guy will find a way to sneak into this top 4. I don't know how. I don't know when. By the end of the season, but I don't trust. But now I watched this game. Atalanta, obviously, 3 years ago when they made the UCL quarters, I think against PSG, one of the most entertaining teams. Gasparini ball was rocking my world, and all of that phrase. But I think last year struggled a little bit. I know we played them in UCL. I don't think they were like that good, but he seems to figure out something again. The Hojlund kid, Zapata was always that number 9. Murillo dashed in a couple times. Ilicic, I think it's Ilicic, that retired due to like personal issues. They lost a Papu Gomez who ended up going to like Sevilla. They lost a couple of like their trident players, and now it seems like Lookman's coming in. Kubo Marias is one of my favorite midfielders in the league. I've always had stocks of him since he was at AZ, and they look good. But Juve, on the other side of Juve, they look in the mud. But the one thing that they have for them is they have a core of young players that are coming up, and if they can somehow keep them, they'll probably eventually become good again. Fagioli is a beautiful player. Miretti is another good player. I think they have one center back that's young that looks good as well.
Gatti.
Yeah, they have some young players. And if they can keep some of the core veterans, I know Pogba's coming back this weekend. I think. I know he loves the club. Di Maria is in fantastic form post World Cup goal. I'm guessing that trophy kind of rejuvenated him in terms of playing for Juve. So I think they'll be fine.
Michael, do you know how many players coming back from injuries for them?
Lahovic as well, bro. They got good players.
A whole team coming back, man.
Their squad is
Pogba.
Their squad is so good.
Yeah, like, oh my god,
they would have won the league if it wasn't for this 15 points. I'm telling you.
No, but Napoli are too good. Napoli
that 5-1, yeah, it was mad. Yeah,
no, and there's like 50 points halfway through the season. I just can't sit here on my ass and say no, they will catch up. No, they won't catch up. Nobody can catch up.
Napoli, unbelievable, man. But enough of
Let's talk
Napoli.
about Milan a little bit.
Yeah, there's one team, man. They're not so unbelievable, and I want to talk about them as well because every week I can't believe. Listen, Milan. Yeah, this might be the worst defense I've ever seen in my life. I saw things in this game that I've never seen. Maybe under nines football. I'm telling you now. You see this Calabria brother on the right. Who are you, brother? You're not a
Who
footballer.
was
You're not a
good? He was
defender.
good last year. That's the problem.
I could listen. There was one through ball that they did right that hit. I can't even. I wish I could show the clips and just put it in slow mo. The one through ball they did, I think it may be for one of Felipe Anderson's goals, and they just hit it across. It's the ball. Literally, any of their defenders should have won this ball. Somehow, the Lazio players have just run, got the ball. That's just so easy to get in behind. Every through ball is game over. Forget about defending. Kalulu as well. Pretty sure he was the one who gave away the penalty right towards the end.
Yeah.
Their goalkeeper is one of the worst things I've ever seen. Sergino Dest, Tomori in there is drowning. My bro, you're drowning in there. I feel bad for him because yeah, he's a good defender, recovery pace, and all of that sort of stuff there. But in this team here, bro, he is absolutely drowning. You go to the midfield, Tonali, Benacer, Tonali. I rate you guys know I rate Tonali so highly, right? But even him was not looking good in this game. Liao ended up going up front, still couldn't do anything. And yeah, Mo, you take it away because
Listen, I'm not sure if you guys know Uncle Sharma or not. Like
yeah,
me and
yeah.
him were talking about this, and we said even last year, this doesn't scream like a winning, a Serie A winners. Like this doesn't scream like that. The problem is, it was that left side with Theo and Leao. It's not looking good. This team, it doesn't look good. It doesn't play good. And Pioli last year, it would just play to Leao and Theo and hope for the best. Listen, Messias is okay. Diaz, Manchester City let him go. Real Madrid let him go. Went to Milan. Yes, balls every now and then. You know when the guy that comes in and does like a good move here and there, he's never
Yeah.
consistent. Never. You know what I mean? Like
I hate, bro, Mo. I hate him. I hate him because I watch
I,
him sometimes and I'm like, you're the best. You're that guy. Why did Man City? Why did Real Madrid let you go? And the next day, I'm like, I understand why they let you go.
because he's like, you know, the guy that does like, you know, the Nelson. You remember the Nelson for Brazil?
Yeah.
Like amazing 1-2 plays in the game, wins you one game and then disappears for 2, 3, 4 games, gets subbed out. 59 minutes, and you're supposed to be the number 10 that will bail them out. He's not there. Fakayo Tomori, good defender. I think Southgate not picking him for the World Cup, I think it destroyed the guy. I think, and he limped off injured in this game as well, and we don't know what's the extent of the injury. I think Milan are gonna face a lot of trouble. It's all Pioli, as Ahmed says in the comments. I see that comment. He always have a honeymoon. Yes, but his honeymoon was winning the league, so that will buy him some time. If you know what I mean, like he won the league. I don't think they're gonna sack him, but again, they're gonna sell Leao. I think maybe Tonali is gonna go. It depends. Tonali likes to be like in Italy and stuff, but I think Tonali, if they don't invest and they sell their best players, do you want to be in that club? It's the same. I'm asking the question about Barella. If Inter start to selling their assets, Barella, the Italian guy that wants to be the captain, why would he want to stay at that club? Like if you're regarded one of the best midfielders in Serie A, and you have people inquiring about you, and you see the club selling Leao, they're gonna start like looking at offers for Theo Hernandez or something. Even Mike Manian, who's injured, they're looking for another goalkeeper. Why would you want to stay? I think
100%.
this is going to be the downfall of Milan if they don't invest well. And it doesn't look like they're investing well. De Catala, this guy, we saw he's the guy that's going to come and save the club. He's all right, though. He's
Wrong
not that
environment.
guy. Zaniolo. They're trying to bid for Zaniolo. And you know, guys, what is going on? Bournemouth went and offered more. And we talked about this earlier in the show.
Killmonger.
They are
It's coming.
like they are offering a loan with an option to buy or something. Bournemouth said, no, forget about that. Here's 30 million pounds on the table today and give us the player. And Roma is like, well, how about another 10? And Bournemouth are thinking about it. I think he might end up going to Bournemouth, which is going to be a disaster for the kid's future.
I promise you, Zaniolo does not know what a Bournemouth is. He has no idea that club exists. He definitely has no idea that club exists. Like, there's no chance.
Of course he doesn't.
Like Enzo Lafite. They went after Enzo Lafite at Lorient. He said nah. He's like, I don't know who is Bournemouth.
Do
But
you
it
know what
doesn't
Bournemouth
matter.
is? They're such
You
a
know what
small club.
Bournemouth-
Like it's not. You know, they're such a small club. Like you know, in English football, like in terms of there's teams in League One, League Two who
Bro,
are
their
bigger clubs.
stadium only holds like 12K. That stadium
No,
is
no.
10K. It's
But
mad.
that's not the point. The point is when they come and offer you £8 million a year or
Yeah.
something,
Yeah.
you're gonna
some
start thinking
features.
about it. So for me, there is nothing to stop them from getting the kid who is gonna go after the money.
he should
you know
actually
why?
go. He should go
He's
though
ACL
because
fan.
he can attract other bigger clubs if he shines in
But
the Premier
Spurs are
League.
looking at him. The problem is
Yeah.
Spurs are not willing to match. I don't think Spurs are willing to match Bournemouth's offer.
He won't play at Tottenham anyway. He won't even start for them. So I don't think he should even.
They
go
already
back.
got Danjuma, so it's done. That left
Yeah.
side is done. He might be in the right side for Kulusevski, and they're very similar players, though.
Yeah, but
But
Kulusevski,
nah.
I think, offers more than even Zaniolo. I think
Yeah,
the two
man.
injuries, 2 ligaments, man.
Yeah.
It's one of those.
Kulusevski
ones.
might get suspended.
If I'm
Probably
Zaniolo,
will.
to be honest, right, you need to go get the money. The injuries, build yourself up. If you secure the bag,
Bro,
man, just go enjoy it.
2019, before the ACL injuries, I thought he was the
hope
next
for
one
the
up.
World Cup, huh? And hope for the World Cup to revive your career in 2026. That's what he should hope for.
Yeah,
Man,
But-
on Milan, real quick, that team is Sefini, man. That team's over. It's not looking good. They're just Leao's leaving. That attack stinks. That midfield, Tonali's decent, Benacer's decent, but you can't have Raheem Diaz as your 10. This guy. And
Yeah.
that Tatu Rosanu guy, I thought Danny Ward from Leicester was the worst keeper ever. This guy takes the prize, bro. Mike Minot, they need to give him like a lifetime contract. He is so important to that team. Like, wow. But if he wants to leave, ulterior motive season, come my way. I need a goalkeeper. So Mike Minot, this guy gives a what's it called, title like magic on him. Won the title at Lille, first season at Milan, won the title. So
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
big
You know
though,
the problem with Serie A there before we move on is that Serie A got boring because Napoli are winning every game and everybody else is just losing. So people stop watching Serie A. You remember Serie A last year was like very close, and
fun.
nowadays, like, why would you want to watch Serie A? Because now the top four like races is heated and stuff, but there's so much trouble out there that it's kind of strange how like people don't watch Serie A anymore. But
Yeah, no, it's a mad one, honestly. But yeah, on Milan quickly, just to wrap them up quickly, their centre back, who I don't know how to pronounce his name, Simon Kaya.
Simon Kaya, yeah,
he needs
the
to
Danish
retire.
guy.
That brother, when he's running, you're not running. Just stop. Yeah, just stop football. That's all I want to say to him. And you just reminded me, Mo. Last season watching Milan, they were never that impressive. But I remember one goal. Theo Hernandez ran from like the halfway line. And I'm
He
He ran
thinking,
from the
scored by himself.
18. Ran from the 18 to the other 18 and scored. But that's
Dale.
the thing about it is that Leao used to do this. Like Leao scored like 8 goals or 9 goals in the last like 7 games when they needed to win, and they won 6 in a row.
Yeah, last minute goals. Tonali, I remember one game. Like it was all mad. Like it was just written for them to win.
Exactly. So, but the problem is they thought they have a good team.
But they don't.
We'll see.
They
But
found
they're
that.
still second. You just gotta remember that they're still second in the league. But the top
Damn.
4, man, 6 teams or 5 teams with between 36 and 37 points is not.
Yeah, I don't know, but if this is true, Freeman saying
It
Milan
is.
wants to go for Pulisic.
They're also looking at
Ziyech-
St. Max as well. They're
Yeah,
looking at
apparently Newcastle want to sell him if they get Gordon. Saint Maximin is not in the plan, so
Yeah.
if he went to Serie A, game over for a lot of teams.
No, I don't think so because it's not what you think because
Gervinho
the
was doing
guy-
bits, man.
because
Come
the
on.
guy
Yeah.
he did it like for one season and they didn't even make Champions League. The problem was that with players like Saint Maximin is that the discipline is not there.
Yeah.
One of the problems that Pioli says about Leao is that he doesn't help Theo defensively at all. Alan Saint Maximin is not going to do that. Yes, going forward is going to be brilliant, but like Serie A, you need tactically, you need to be on point, and it's one of the things. And he's not, and that's why Eddie Howe doesn't play him, by the way, because the guy, his work rate is not there defensively, and Newcastle they work as a team.
Yeah.
Bro, they'll put him on the right. Imagine Calabria. This guy's already looking toast out there. Imagine he doesn't have a winger coming back to help him track back.
Exactly. It's
not
going to
looking
be a struggle if he goes. But I think Leao is going to go. The question, where is he going to go? And now Arsenal got Trossard, so they're not going to go for him, and he's too expensive.
Man City, maybe.
It's Man City.
No, he's not that style. I think Guardiola will never sign a player like Leao. He's not. He doesn't work hard though. He's a kind of like a Vinicius Junior. You know what I mean?
That's
like
why I need him to go there. I'm sabotaging them because I don't want them to get Kvaratskhelia. That's the guy. If he goes Man City, I'm not watching Premier League anymore. That's when I stop. That's when I turn off.
Di Laurentiis got a plan for me. He ain't selling to Pep ever in his life.
Next year, Kvaratskhelia, Kvara, and Bellingham go to Man City, and football is done. It's over. It's over, my friend.
That's when I stop. This is when I say Super League. I'm joining. We join in Serie A or something.
I need to think about it. Where can Leao go? Because every team in the Big Six has like a left winger. Arsenal have their left wings now sorted with Trossard and Martinelli. Man United have Rashford. City, like most said, probably aren't going to sign him. Spurs, will he really go to Spurs? Maybe.
They already signed Danjuma. And they will never sell Youngman's son. Because of the marketing value. So it's never
Liverpool have like 95 million left wingers already, so they can't sign anymore. Who else is left? Chelsea just signed Mudryk.
How can a team has like 7 attackers? It's like within like one window. Liverpool like signed
midfielders. It doesn't make sense.
Like it's like seriously. It's too many players for it, man.
Barca do need a left winger, that's true.
Yes,
maybe he goes
capacity for that.
They're gonna sell Rafinha and Ansu Fati soon.
Yeah, maybe he needs to go Barca then.
You know what I realized in football, like when Arsenal lost out on Mudryk, and you're like, oh, who are the replacements? You realize there's a lot of left-sided wingers, but there's not many right-sided wingers. I don't know. There's a mad like.
Yeah, why do you think we paid 100 mil for a fidget spinner?
Yeah, this is just your ripoff, bro.
Because he's left-footed, bro. Because he's left-footed, bro. If this guy, if Anthony was right-footed, I promise you, he's not in football.
That guy, yes, they paid 80 million pounds for someone to just come and do it.
Even though he actually did move me yesterday, but I know it's not the Premier League show. But I found out that Man United signed another winger. That's not a winger. That's a mid winger. This guy was only good in central areas. Once again,
you know what it was? Against Arsenal, right? Just literally 2 minutes. We're gonna get back onto Serie A because there's one topic I want to speak about. Anthony, like against Arsenal, he was doing nothing, but he was annoying us. Like we were booing him. Like he was just annoying.
Yeah, you hate him
doing these little ball rolls. He's doing these little ball rolls, and he's like, he's not doing anything. But
you won the game because of Anthony.
Yeah,
Anthony. You were in the stadium, and I had this talk with Ty yesterday before the Man United game. Yesterday, I was doing the watch along, and I said that Anthony was not helping defensively. He was literally just watching Martinelli go on Wan-Bissaka one-on-one, hoping that Wan-Bissaka can't stop the guy. And Wan-Bissaka did. But that's not football, though. You were in the stadium. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did he come to double like Saka doubled on Rashford with Ben White all the time? Does this guy work hard defensively at all, Anthony?
Nah. To be fair, he was marking Zinchenko. That's why.
And Zinchenko was not there because he was all the way inside the pitch.
He's no threat.
Zinchenko really wasn't doing anything until Anthony got subbed off, to be fair.
But that's not the point. Being a winger is not. This is not a 5-a-side game. It's not H1 on a player. When a winger gets the ball and has space to go on a fullback, you have to double on him. You have to force him back. This is just how football works.
Other games he does work hard though. Like he actually does track back, like really well. Anthony, like maybe not in the Arsenal game, man. Other games that I watch him, I think he does a decent job at it. Because on the ball, he's not good.
Man. Just bring back Elanga, man. Just
good today.
Swallow your pride, man.
I got Facundo, bro. I got my Uruguayan guy. Don't worry.
Anyway, let's go to Bundesliga, or you want to talk about Serie A?
Yeah, no, just last thing. Literally, just a league table here. And I've noticed 5th versus 1st next game. Both teams, I believe, 1-2-0 last match. What we saying? If Roma can do a little something,
Napoli 3-0. No, I'm just gonna say it out. Shame.
They're gonna tear them apart. They're gonna tear them apart.
The game's in Naples too, right? Nah, safety man. The game's left.
No. The game. I think the game is at Roma. I think
really? Didn't Osimhen beat them there already?
Maybe. Yeah. The game is at the Maradona. Yes, he's right. Michael's right. So yeah, this is gonna be a walk in the park. It's gonna be. I know that Mourinho is gonna sit with his birthday. He's gonna sit the team back and stuff like this, but they're gonna just destroy them.
Man, I don't know. Serie A, yeah, it was so fun at the beginning as well, man. We were like, yeah, Napoli are doing well, but you never know. Yeah.
Top
be
4
missed
race is
out.
really cool though. That top 4 race will be the most interesting top 4 race potentially in all the big 5 leagues. So at least they have that
Yeah.
going for them.
100%. But anyway, let's just turn our attentions quickly to the Bundesliga, which has returned the funniest league I call in Europe. Like you can honestly, I watched 2 games yesterday, and I'm pretty sure I saw like you 20 minutes in, you can see 2-2 already. This is a Bundesliga. This is why we watch. But yeah, Bayern struggling against Cologne. I didn't see too much of this game. I don't know how much you guys managed to catch of this game, but the last game I watched of Bayern, they just don't look. They don't look good. And that 2 in the defense, right? Upamecano and De Ligt. This is clown central. This is not a centre back pairing that can be trusted. But yeah,
Upamecano will be carrying too much, man. Nah, this De Ligt guy. I've been on him for like a couple of years now. I don't think he's that good. I don't think he's that good.
Who?
De Ligt, I think he's very overrated. I'm not gonna lie. I know he was good for Ajax in Champions League in 2018, but for me, like on the ball, he's not that good. He's like more of a box defender, I guess. In the Bundesliga, there is no such thing as box defending. There's high lines galore. So I don't know why he went there. Obviously, I know. Allegedly, he been snitching on Juve too. So maybe that's playing in his head. Allegedly, though, I'm gonna say that. And Bundesliga, like bro, like that what's the team? Kall. I don't know who that. I don't know any of those players. But for Bayern, based on a couple articles I've read, they're pissed with Neuer because he broke bones while going on a ski trip. They're not that happy. Gnabry's doing Fashion Week in Paris. Like that club is all over the place right now. And if there's gonna be a season where that Bayern streak is over the monopoly, I think it's gonna be this year because they look in tatters. UCL, they got PSG, and they might get battered in that. And the confidence from that, you never know. We might actually see a new Bundesliga champion for the first time in over a decade.
You can never count Bayern Munich out in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Listen, that lineup doesn't look bad at all. The problem is Choupo-Moting up top does not scream goals for you. But other than this, like Serge Gnabry, Sane, Kimmich, Goretzka, Davis, even Upamecano and De Ligt, you guys think, yes, they have a mistake in them and everything. But playing in the Bundesliga, playing for Bayern Munich, you do not require... It's not requested for me to be the best player from the back. Like you remember Boateng being in the... He's not the greatest player on the ball, but he did bits with them. They won the Champions League with him. You know what I mean? Like playing for Bayern Munich, the problem is they need a forward, and Sadio Mane is injured at the moment. And even Sadio Mane, he's not a striker. They miss Lewandowski to put the ball at the back of the net, and they never replaced him because their coach doesn't like to play with a striker. And he wants to be Guardiola. Like, it's like, I want to be the Guardiola I want to be. Mm-hmm. I think that's the problem. If this team, imagine this lineup with a real number 9.
Harry Kane. Get him in. Huh? Harry Kane, get him in. Come on, Bayern.
Yeah. You're scared of him going to Man United. I know that for sure.
I don't need that. I don't need that to happen. No,
I know
way.
This guy wants to resign with Spurs. Bro, he wants to resign with Spurs. Yo, keep that guy away from me. Keep that guy away from me, man.
Nah, man. If
he's trying to resign with Spurs.
Man United are real contenders, man. Like this guy, Harry Kane, under Ten Hag, with the players behind him, Bruno, Eriksson. Oh, you're gonna be cooking.
I got my eyes set on someone else though.
Listen, Mike. I know that you guys are like Man United fans, but if you see the rivals scared of that move, you know it's the right move.
Oh, of course, bro. Every time I see that on Twitter, like if they're scared of a move, they're like, "Oh no, bro, this one won't matter." I know they're shook, bro. Harry Kane.
I'm trying to see. I'm trying to see Tottenham get top 4 right now, just so Man United are not in it. And I know
exactly.
There.
Yeah, bro, we're getting a top striker in the summer, bro. If it's not Harry Kane, we're gonna go splash 130 million on Osimhen. That ain't no problem.
Osimhen, cool. Yeah,
you're not scared of Osimhen.
No. Harry Kane is a game changer.
Harry
Kane for you,
bro. I got Weghorst up top. Anyone's a game changer.
No, but Harry Kane for you is a game changer because Rashford is just gonna thrive, man. Like Rashford is gonna.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I'll take. But Osimhen will be a problem in the Premier League. They cannot handle that athleticism.
Harry Kane. If he goes to Man United, then I think he will. By the way, I think he will. But anyway, Bundesliga though. Let me just say one thing about the Bundesliga. It is exciting. It's different this year. It's so different this year than all the other years. Somehow, Leipzig, they come to life. And then Dortmund, somehow, all their games are close. Mm-hmm. Every single game is that they come back from being down or they score at the end of the game. And it is close. I think people think that 36 points and stuff, 3 points ahead of Union Berlin. It takes one loss and everybody catches up with them. Mm-hmm. And now it's very congested. And you see Eintracht Frankfurt, they play tomorrow against Bayern Munich as well, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
It's I think it's at 5:30 or something UK time, and this is gonna be a tough game because if Bayern Munich lose, Eintracht Frankfurt are within 2 points of them. This is how close it will get.
Yeah,
Bro,
no, listen.
this thing actually, bro, I'm looking. Oh, I know they're in 8th place, but Xavi Alonso at Bayer Leverkusen, bro, this guy's moving me. I'm seeing I've been reading the tactics. They were like almost relegation when he came in as manager. I know they didn't do that well in Champions League, but he's been really revitalizing them, man. I don't know, not for this year, but maybe next year. Florian Wirtz is back as well from that ACL injury, so they're gonna be a team that might like cause some chaos in the title race with them not being in it when they play like the bigger teams, the Bayern Munichs, the Leipzigs, the Dortmunds. And as for Dortmund, Gio Reyna, he was all in that controversy with the Team USA with like his soccer mom and everything, but he's been scoring 2 winners in a row. I know this guy in the comments mentioned Bino Gittins. I watched this guy one time. It was a Champions League Youth Cup game against Man United because I was watching the youth team, and this guy was just running past everyone. He was so quick. No, Bino Gittins, the guy that someone scout mentioned in the comments. Yeah. He was so quick, like so good at dribbling. And then Reyna scored the winner a couple of games. But Dortmund, I just think they're not good enough in defense, and that will cost them games because they'd be conceding goals for fun.
Yeah, if you want to just even touch on that Dortmund game again, they don't look great, but somehow they just pulled out a result. Like the last minute goal, Haller, little header, Gio Reyna steps up and tucks it away. They don't look that good. Ryerson, like they concede 1 second, next second they score. This is Dortmund. That was the first game, 4-3 when they come back. I just don't understand this football club, to be honest. They're like an absolute roller coaster when you watch them play. The likes of Daniel Marlin, still not convinced by him whatsoever, to be honest. But that's a.
I like this guy Schlotterbeck that played in the national team. I like him.
He's a good player. He's a good player, but he has as well. Like for me, I like him, but he has always a moment where I feel like he can just switch off.
But everybody in the Bundesliga is the same. Do you know why? Because the Bundesliga, people just sleep on the Bundesliga. This is the quickest league in the world. There is no time. There is no slow play, and people play from they play from the back, and then boom, everybody's running at you 1-on-1. You'll have to defend. It is a very tough league, to be honest. It's a very tough league. It's just the problem with the Bundesliga. It's so quick. That's why defenders make mistakes all the time. All the time.
Guys, quick question. What do you guys league? Because for a long time, Bundesliga for me was like my second most entertaining league to watch just because of the way they play. It's just chaos, end to end, running. But I watch French football now, and I'm watching Ligue 1, and it's got that end to end feel sometimes of a Bundesliga game, but it's got way more physicality. And I think that's why French players that come from Ligue 1 always seem to do well in the Premier League, where we've seen in recent times Bundesliga players hit and miss when they come here, or come to England, rather.
Mike, you take that.
Yeah, Ligue 1 is a talent gold mine. I love that league. I could go to any club in Ligue 1, and I'll promise you I will find a world breaker in midfield, bro. That league, midfield talent. And Malo Gusto, I know I talked about him on Tuesday. I sent my plea deal already, bro. Yo, come reconsider, bro. Lyon president, stay strong, man. We got 5 more days, and the transfer window closes. And then come summertime, I promise you we'll get you that money. That team, every position, I will find a top talented player that will be world class in the future, and that is why Bilal mentioned that the hit rate from Ligue 1 to Premier League is pretty good. Pepe kind of ruined the reputation a little bit, but that's okay. We fix it up again, and that team is just so good. But in Europe, they always struggle though. You see them in Champions League, Marseille, they bottled it. Plus, they only had like 2 teams in the Champions League this year. It's just weird with them. But in Europa League, I know
Renee fast though. It's very fast.
Yeah, but it's physical over there. But I mentioned about Messi last year, he couldn't handle the physicality. He had to adjust to it, but he was not ready for all those guys from AFCON. Because they got a lot of AFCON players in there, bro. They just cannot handle that physicality.
Yeah, the game is tougher than I watched I think a season or 2 seasons ago, Marseille playing Nice. There was a fight and stuff, and the game is so physical. And in the same, I think 2 days before, I was in an Inter game in Italy. And the difference, people say that Serie A is physical. No. Like Liga, you go and the red cards, your tackles are flying, shoulders to the banners. I'm serious, man. I'm really serious.
For me, it's worse. It's way more physical than Prem. I watch and I wonder what's going on.
You think the red cards? You think they have double the red cards of any other league? You know that?
Yeah.
But that with things still going, the referees let things go. the team is so physical. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I think it just. I don't know, but the Ligue 1 though, the problem with that is PSG. If PSG was not there, it would be way more entertaining. Way more entertaining.
100%. We could even.
I'm just happy though. I'm just happy that Ligue 1 owners hate PSG and don't sell it to them. That's the only thing I'm happy about.
Oh man, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah,
let me ask you one
know.
thing. One thing. If Paris Saint-Germain don't win Ligue 1 this year and Lens win it, is Messi still the one to win Ballon d'Or?
Mo, you and your Ronaldo agenda.
Bro,
your goal is
World Cup, bro.
Your goal got beaten today.
No, it's not Ronaldo.
Where is he?
I don't then consider Ronaldo. I just don't like the hype talk about Ligue 1. It's so easy. I'm watching the games. PSG, they are, as Ty always says, their own enemy. I think PSG are too strong for that league. They're too strong technically and tactically, and the players there. And that's what I mean. Like, it's just an easy walk in the park for PSG. I know they lose games and stuff, but it's still, the games look easy. They make it hard on themselves. But otherwise, I think the league is easy.
Nah, but Messi won Ballon d'Or the moment he won. I seen this guy win Ballon d'Or just from winning Copa del Rey. I promise you, the moment he won the World Cup, this guy's winning the Ballon d'Or. It's a wrap, man. And his only contender is Mbappe, who's on the same team as him.
Oh yeah.
So
that's kind of a joke.
Like Marseille are creeping up, man. Like they've been picking up results here and there. We've got Monaco next.
Lorient, you were my crush. They were doing so good.
Yeah, man, they're trying. But listen, even Terrier got injured recently for Rennes. They're saying Toko Ekambi is going to go to Rennes now.
Yeah.
And hopefully, maybe he helps them even break into the top 4. Then I like to see them in the Champions League, because I remember when Arsenal played Rennes a couple of years ago in Champions League, Europa League, not Champions League, in the Europa League, right? They touched us, bro, like 3-0 first leg. We got it back second leg 4-0, but that
was a worse Renee, bro. They've gotten so much better since then. Lovro Maher's there as well.
Yeah.
Who else? They got a couple other nice players, bro. Burgard and everything. They got a lot of good players. Lyon in 9th though, that's shocking.
Lyon, the ownership issues, I think it's cleared up now. It looks like the new owners are going to come in and take over. I believe he had shares in Crystal Palace or something like that as well. If that gets cleared up, Lyon are meant to be a powerhouse team in this league as well. Like, Lyon should be top 3 in this league. Them being 9th is mad. They should be top 3. Them, Marseille, and of course PSG.
Nice and 10th, bro. And these guys want me Jim Ratcliffe at Man United, bro. That's Nice,
bro. That's Nice's. Where do you want them to be? That's their position, bro. Like 10.
Now, they got a decent squad. You know, I think they won like a cup a couple of years ago or something. They had a decent squad.
Yeah.
And then they all blew up, and they went for the Premier League rejects. They signed up Ross Barkley and Peter Kasper Schmeichel and everything.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. But anyway, guys, let's see what happens this weekend. We'll have things to talk about, I'm sure, sooner rather than later. Big up everyone who's been in the chat, well, watching. The views, to be honest, not been as bad as we thought we were going to be, but it's been good. It's been good, 100%. Mo, always big up. It's been a pleasure talking to you as always.
Thank you
Michael,
so much.
Big up as well, man. But yeah, guys, like the video, subscribe, do all of that. Hit everyone up on their socials as well. And yeah, man, we out of here.